Hello, my name is Steven, and I will be teaching you how to complete the field reports and remote payroll on your iPhone. Both tasks will need to be filled out every day, as the PMs will be looking at them every day to see how the job is progressing. Field reports will be used to document the job, the subcontractors, receipts, your daily activities, etc. The remote payroll would just be used to clock in your hours, input per diem, mileage, and receipts dollar amounts. Please note that if you fail to complete both the field report and remote payroll, your pay will be docked that day. There is no reason why they should not be filled out every day since these apps syncs every hour. But without further ado, let's get started. I will first teach you how to fill out the field reports. Now it's time to do field reports. Once you have finished downloading the app, you'll be brought to this screen, Sync Settings. Again, in the identifier, you'll need to type in Rafferty. It can be uppercase or lowercase. For username, it's going to be your first and last name, uppercase or lowercase, no space in between, and then input your password. The report catching can be left at 1 hour, 30 minutes, or 15 minutes. It's up to you, but basically it's going to be syncing your phone with the field reports online. I have now inputted my information. I'm going to sync. Again, this should take less than 30 seconds to complete. After you have done one sync, you should do a second one just to make sure everything has downloaded properly. Okay, everything's done. Now just do another one just to be safe. Once you've completed your second sync, go ahead to the settings button here, click on settings, and then click on done. Now it's going to ask you to select job and report type. To select your job, you'll need to click the select job just above superintendent. And now you'll just need to type in 3 characters here in order to find the job you need. For me, I will be doing Mishawaka. I'm now selecting Mishawaka, and now it's ready for me to input time. First, I'm going to do the 18th, just as an example. Click on the 18th, and what it first brings you to is to weather. Now, to add weather, you just need to press the plus sign on the bottom right corner of the phone. I'm going to press the plus sign. Now it brings up this screen here. Now, in order to make this work, you can either press this box here to input time, or you can do the plus or minus sign, which would take a lot longer. So let's go ahead and input our temperature. Let's do 70 degrees. Press next on the bottom right corner of your phone. Sky condition, there's several sky conditions here. Clear, overcast, partly cloudy, cloudy, mostly sunny. I'm going to do clear. Ground condition, again several, damp, muddy, flooded, dry, soggy. We're going to do dry. And now I'm going to select wind. I'm going to do calm air. And then it's asking for direction. I'm going to put east. Since today was clear, I'm going to go ahead and input 0 in here. If there's no precipitation, you'll always want to put 0 in here. We need a number for this. Now for humidity, I'm going to select dry. Now when you select a time, the time needs to be recorded of when you recorded these observations. For right now, I'm going to select 8 a.m. And that's the time I recorded these observations. Now in the notes, I'm going to input any additional information that happened during the day. Now when inputting the additional information in the notes, you can either do 2 things. 1, type in this information, or 2, use the microphone at the bottom to input the information. We recommend the microphone because it'll be quicker for you in order to do that. Let me go ahead and put the information in. It rained at 1:45 p.m. And we have the additional notes here. Once done, click Save. And now we have a weather report. There are several different more tabs you have to complete, and they are at the bottom here. As you can see, weather is showing right now. In order to switch to the next tab, you have to hold on to the right of the weather. It would be easier to grab and switch. Right now you can't really see on the phone, but on the next tab here should say payroll. Go ahead and grab it and switch. And now payroll is set up here. However, you don't need to worry about payroll at this time because you already completed it on the reports in the remote payroll section. So we're going to go ahead and pass this. So again, you're going to grab on the bottom here to the right of payroll and scroll to the left. The next tab is subcontractors. Now for the subcontractors, we're going to need to do something a little different when you first start the job. On the very first day, you're going to have to list out every single subcontractor, even if they do not work. So let's go ahead and do that. Go to the plus sign, and we're going to select a sub. Now select sub. When you first select the subcontractor, it will bring you to this screen. In this screen, there are two categories. One is company, one is job company list. When you first start off with a brand new job, you're not going to have any companies in the job company list. So you will have to first find the company in the company, and you can do that by entering here into the search and typing in the first few letters of the company's name. This is where the contact sheet will come in handy for this situation. The first sub that I will choose is demo. I'm going to select sub here. I'm going to type in here Harbor Construction. Now it has not found it yet, but it's going to search online, and here is Harbor Construction. They did not work, so I'm going to put no work. And click Save. One construction down, several more to go. Let's go. I'm going to do fencing next. This one is arrow, fence, and gate. Okay, here they are. No work. And press save. Let's do the next one. So I'm going to pick the next one, which is going to be landscaping. I'm going to do Führer, Bringer, Landscaping, and Design. It's searching for me. Here it is, Führer, Bringer, Landscaping, and Design. I'm going to type in no work. And click Save. Let's do one more that has done no work for today. I'm going to pick concrete this time. I'm going to pick Mid-States Construction. And here they are. I'm going to type in no work. And click Save. By doing this in the first field report for this when you first arrive on the job site, you'll be able to click on the job company list. You'll be able to use them on the next day's field report. So let's go ahead and add a subcontractor that actually worked for the day. I'm going to pick the interior contractor, which is Foreman Interiors. Here they are. Head count is 2. Hours, I'm going to put 8 because each person worked 8 hours, so I will put 8 hours for them. And then for the notes, I'm going to use the microphone here to input that information. Working on wood framing on the roof and parapet wall, period. Worked on interior stud walls, comma, soffit, comma, and mop sink, period. And then click save. Now I'm going to choose another subcontractor. I'm going to choose electrical this time. The electrical contractor for this job is Lauer Electric. I'm going to select a sub. I'm going to find Lauer Electric. Head count is going to be 3 hours. Now, in this situation, I had 3 people on the job site, and each one worked a different amount of hours. So I'm going to put the person who worked the most for the hours here, and then I'm going to put in the notes the amount of hours for the other 2. So for this instance, the person who worked the most was 7 hours. I'm going to put in the notes here for one man. Worked 5 hours. Or you can use the microphone, which I'll use this time, and say one man worked 3 hours. One man worked 3 hours, period. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and include what they actually did for today. Worked on conduit line from building to pole and demo old panel. Perfect. Let's click on save. Awesome. All right, let's do another subcontractor. Let's do plumbing. The plumber for this job was Christenberry Plumbing and Electric. Let's go ahead and type that in. Here they are. Head count, I'm going to click 5. In hours, I'm going to use the plus and minus sign this time. I'm going to put 5 hours for each person. And now I'm going to put in the notes what they did. Set some trap primers, comma, ran all drain lines and vents, period. And now I'm going to click on save. Let's do one more. I'm going to do the HVAC contractor this time. And the HVAC contractor was Dynamic Mechanical Services. Here they are. Head count. I'm going to put 2. I'm going to put 8. And then in notes, worked on finishing, roughen, comma, and ran thermostat wire. Now there are going to be times where the microphone does not get the words correctly. In these situations, we're going to need you to look back and make sure everything's typed in correctly. Obviously, the roughen did not type in correctly. Let's go ahead and spell it in. Okay, now we're done. Press save. And now we have several contractors listed here. Okay, let's talk about the company list again. Go to the plus sign, select sub. Now here's the job company list over here to the left. So I've already refreshed this, so you already see some sets I've used in the past, but after you finalize the first job report, they should show up. If you do not see it, then you need to go up here to the top right where you see the sync button and sync it. It'll sync for you to populate all the subs you used in the past. If you have problems seeing this, just give me a call and I'll help you through it. Alright, let's move to the next step. So you need to go to the very bottom here where you see subcontractors and scroll to the left to go to the next step, which is materials. I'm going to press the plus sign. And now we have a list of items that we need to fill out. So there are going to be a few different types of items that you'll list here. 1, receipts. 2, any packing slips. And 3, any delivery tickets. These packing slips are for when materials are dropped to the job site. We'll want you to list these and take a picture of it as well. For instance, it could be doors, frames, and hardware. It could be electrical fixtures, plumbing fixtures, that type of thing. This includes delivery tickets as well. So let's go ahead and do a packing slip here. I'm going to be doing some doors, frames, and hardware. Here is the packing slip. This is what I'll be inputting, this information. I will put a picture along with the video so you can see it as well. So for the ticket number, I'm going to pick the order number on the packing slip. The order number is it is 201511880-00. That is the packing slip order number. Receive time is very important. We'll want to know when you receive those items on the job site. I'm going to say 8:45 a.m. Now received by select contact, unfortunately we're not be able to use that. We'll want to put your name in the notes as the point of contact of who received it, or anyone else who receives it in your stead. There are times where you may be out and about getting materials or out to lunch and someone has to accept material for you. We'll definitely want their names in the notes in order to know who accepted this material. So for now, in the description, I'm going to put door frames and hardware. Quantity can be left blank. We will not be using that. You will need to select a ULM. This will be giving you categories here. If you do not see your category listed here, which I do not see, doors, frames, and hardware, please give me a call and I will add that on to hh2 and make sure that gets uploaded. That way you can select that of what materials you actually received. So I will go ahead and do that. I have now uploaded the door frames, door, and hardware onto the ULM. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and click on save to save this, and I'll edit it later. I need to go back and press done, and then I need to go to the settings here, sync settings, and then I need to sync once again in order to get the ULM updated. Okay, it's done. Go back, press done, and then go back to the day I was working on. Then scroll to materials, and then let's edit it. So let's select UOM again, And here are the door frames that I need. And then it's asking select receipt. I'm going to have to take a photo of it. It is asking you if field reports would like to access the camera. You're going to press OK. And then you're going to take a picture of this with your phone. And it's giving me this. You want to make sure you take a good picture of everything here. I'm going to retake this picture. Now here's the picture I took, and it looks pretty good. So I'm going to use photo here. Awesome. And then in the notes, I'm going to input who received it. Received by Steven. Perfect. And everything is set. Go ahead and press save. Awesome. Let's do a delivery ticket. Now for this next one, we received some electrical fixtures, and this was delivered by R and L carriers. For this, we're going to use the freight bill number. Here is the delivery ticket. So let's go ahead and start filling out the information. I'm going to press the plus sign right here. Ticket number, which is the freight bill number. It's I. Then the rest are numbers, which is 5, 6, 3, 2, 6, 3, 5, 8, 7. Oops. 8, 7. Now the selected time received would have been when I was at lunch. And the person who received this, his name is Nathan. In the description, I'm going to put electrical. Fixtures. Quantity will be nothing. Here's electrical fixtures. That's for the ULM receipt. Take a photo of it. Okay. I've taken a photo of this and it looks fine. I'm going to use photo. And then this was received by Nathan, once again. Received by Nathan from Huff Electric. Unfortunately, I did not get Huff correctly, so I will have to input this information here. Click on save. Now the receipt I'm going to use is from Lowe's. So let me show you this real quick. Here is the Lowe's receipt. On most receipts, see, it's going to have a transaction number and invoice number or an approval code, which is not on this receipt, unfortunately. So let's go ahead and input this information. I'm going to press the plus sign here. Ticket number. Now I have shown you that the transaction number and invoice number are on this receipt. And you may be asking yourself why you have to input the transaction or invoice number or approval code. Well, this is for us so that we can track each receipt properly and make sure it's billed to the job properly. So please make sure you put in the transaction number, invoice number, or proof of code. If they're not input in here, we will not be able to reimburse you for this receipt. So please make sure it has been inputted in here. So I'm going to put the invoice number in here. I will actually just use the microphone this time. 15207. And then select the time. The selected time is going to be on your receipt. Please make sure it is at the correct time, which is this one is 11:02 a.m. Description. Use the microphone for this. Cleaning materials. Now you're going to skip the quantity and go directly to UOM. And I'm going to pick General Materials. Select Receipt. I'm going to take a photo of it. And it looks okay. Everything is easily visible. So I'm going to use photo. And then I'm going to type in the notes. Now in the notes you need to describe what the materials were used for and any additional materials not able to put into the description. Now for this, sprayer tip for the power washer. Now we had to use a power washer to spray the brick to get it clean in order to put paint on it, so that's why we had to get a sprayer tip, push period, and then I'm going to describe what I use for the other two items. Use acid and spray bottle to clean residue off the floor. Perfect. Now this is done. I'm going to go up to the top right and click Save. Awesome. Now we're ready to move on to the next step. Events. So let's start an event. Press the plus sign on the bottom right. Now event types are going to deal with inspections, injury, and OSHA. So you're going to click on the event type and then click on the inspection because we're going to be doing an inspection as an example. And then we're going to do a start time. The time that this inspection began was at 4 p.m. The time that it ended is 4:30. Alright, now that we have entered in all the other information, we need to put what the inspection was for, if they passed or not, and if they did not pass, how the subcontractor is rectifying the issue. And we put all this information into the notes. So let's go ahead and do that. This is going to be for plumbing. Plumbing inspection failed. Now you need to explain why they failed. The sanitary line slope was not low enough by plumbing standards. Unfortunately, the microphone did not get this word correct, so I need to click on here and do by. So the next item is to explain how they're resolving the issue. The plumbers will be here tomorrow to rip out the sanitary lines and dig lower. Okay, great. Now this is complete, and we press save. Let's do another one. Let's do electrical. So I'm going to do the start time here. We'll do this earlier. We'll do 9:15. End time will be 9:59. Inspection. We'll do this for electrical. Electrical inspection passed. And now we have a second inspection. All right, let's move to the next step. So the next step is visitors. So let's go ahead and scroll to the left for visitors. We're going to have Jeff Proctor and Stephen Mahoney on the job site. So let's go ahead and start. The start time for both people will be 7:30 a.m. End time, we're going to do 7:45 p.m. Now, please look at the visitor closely. You'll see a white box here and then this contact icon. Do not click on the contact icon. We will not be able to find any contacts in there. You'll have to type in the person's name. I'm going to do Jeff first. Jeff Proctor. Great. Visited, you do not need to use that. Follow up, you're not going to use that as well. Now in the notes, you're going to need to list out what he actually did. So let's go ahead and do that. Management of site and subcontractors, period. Prepped for concrete pour this week, period. So this did not do this properly here. Okay, now that this has been completed, this is ready, and we can press save. All right, let's add myself. Select start time. It's 7:30 a.m. End time, 7:45 p.m. I need to type in my name. Stephen Mahoney. Luckily, Siri is smart enough and was able to spell my name correctly. Let's go to the notes. Helped clean up the site and organize. All right, wonderful. This is complete. Press save. All right, let's move on to the next step, the journal. For this, you'll be listing your daily activities. Click on the plus sign, select journal type, do general, and here you'll definitely want to use the microphone to list out your daily activities. Arrived at 6:45 a.m. and left at 7:30 p.m. period. Had an hour lunch period. Worked with the electricians and HVAC installers on routing and placements period. Communicated the POS info to the electricians Jeff sent over period. Met with all subs to communicate outstanding questions that Jeff addressed, period. Pulled more hat channel off the walls, comma, and marked out the new window location at the wall between the unfinished area and west main opening, period. Now once you have inputted all this information, please double check what is there, because there are times where the microphone does make a mistake or two. If you did not notice, the hold here is a mistake that it made, so I need to delete this out and actually put down pulled. And that is the only mistake that was made. So now I can go to the top right corner and press save. It has been saved. Alright, now we are done with the journal. On to the final step. This time you're going to go to the check mark that you see on the top here, and you're going to click on that to finalize your job report. But before you do that, please listen carefully. When you finalize your job report, all the information inputted when you finalize cannot be changed. So if you try to change the info the very next day, the next minute, the next hour, you will not have any luck with it, because it will stay there. What you can do, though, if you have extra time after you finalize, you can add additional info. So without further ado, let's go ahead and click on the check mark here and finalize this field report. I'm going to click on finalize. Now right here, it's going to ask you to finalize this report. And to do this is to sign your name. What you can do instead of signing your name is just do your initials. So we want your first initial, middle initial, and last initial. Mine is SDM. Click on save. And now it has been finalized. Congratulations, you have completed your first field report. Press done.